Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Hey, I are you busy right now?
Now give me a minute. We walk in the other room.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
So remember yesterday we are working on some questions. I have a couple of other questions that I ran into. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out.
Well, I'll try to help you. Remember, it's not my content area, but go ahead.
Well, I thought statistics is what you
Well,
were.
statistics I can help more.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying with statistics. Let's see. What was the question here? Oh, I found it now. So they give a situation here, and it says. It says, suppose that a large corporation offers its employees two health plans, a 70-30 plan with a high deductible and an 80-20 plan with low deductibles.
Okay.
Then every employee has one plan or the other. All the employees, 75% are production, 25% are administrative. All the employees, 35% chose the 70-30. With all the production workers, 40% chose the 70-30.
Hey, that's both of them the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so basically, when consider taking the whole group, 35 chose 70-30. When selecting just the production ones, 40% chose the 70-30. So, okay, so these 70-30 they're just titles of the plan, I guess. So first I'm going to do.
All right, hold on. Let me. So you have 70-30. So that.
So
What's the 70-30 mean?
okay, so 70-30, 80-20, those are just names of the plans. They're not numbers of
Okay.
any
I got
sort.
you.
They're
All right.
nominal. So they're just
All right.
names of the plans, as far as I can tell. So first thing I want to do is I want to write this out in like instead of word form, I want to write it into like a number form. So let
All
me
right.
go back into what I had here. Okay. So let me first write down this data. So employees, actually, let me change this up a little bit. What's the question asking? Probability randomly selected employee will be an administrative employee. Oh, this is okay. First part's easy. It's asking what's the chance of somebody being a production worker? What's the chance of somebody being an administrative worker? 75% worker, about production, 25% administrative.
Okay.
If that's what I'm understanding here. Because that is saying if all the employees, 75% are workers or are production, 25 are administrative. So what's the chance of there being administrative would be 25.
Yeah.
All right, so let me write this down first. They could have made it. I mean, this is the question. Sort of like, did you read what they have written? Uh,
All right, so let me call back to you this stuff to make sure I'm still remembering it.
okay.
25% of the plan were administrators, 75% were in production.
Yes.
And they had two options, an 80-20 or 70-30.
Yes.
Now,
The second set that they offer here as well, is that when taking a statistics of all of the employees,
okay,
35% of all of the employees chose the 70-30 plan. When take
35%, wait a minute, 70-30 plan. And so 65% took the 80-20.
yes.
Okay.
Then when taking just the production workers,
Uh-huh.
40% of all of the production workers chose the 70-30 plan.
Okay, hold on. What percent?
40% chose the 70-30.
70-30, okay. By production people, you're talking about, the general employees.
Yeah, production workers.
Okay. So what about the administrators?
And the administrators, they don't say anything.
Okay.
And they also don't have any information of how many employees in total there are.
Right. Well, with the percentages, we can still get by with that. Okay.
Right. So let me see what I can. All right. Second question is asking, what is the probability that a randomly selected employee will either be? So this is an or question. Will either be an administrative worker or will choose the 80-20 plan. So what did it do? What's the formula in that? So let's
So
see.
let me think. So say that one more time.
What is the probability that a randomly selected employee will either be an administrative worker or will choose the 80-20 plan?
Okay, so you have two groups. An administrative worker, and that would be 25%.
Right. So
And what's the other thing? Choose the
1 second here. I'm gonna write this down here. Okay, 25% administrative worker, and let's see, if all the employees 35% chose the 70-30, so then 65% chose the 80-20. So 1 second. I'm at Bob's right now, and she has a neighbor who rides on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What's the probability that a randomly selected employee will either be an administrative worker or choose the 80-20 plan? So it's 25 administrative and 65% chose the 80-20 plan.
Wait a minute. You said 65% choose the 80-20.
Yeah, since they said 35 chose the.
35 then choose the other one, 70-30.
Yes.
But you've also got split between administrative and what's that? Productive producers. What do you call them? 75.
Let's see here.
So.
So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to what I'm supposed to do there. If I'm supposed to add that up or what exactly.
Okay. So let's break it down a little bit. So the production staff, 75% of the employees, and the production staff chose 40% chose 70-30, right?
Let me read that again. No, 35% chose 70-30. Not 40.
Okay, 75% chose 70-30.
No, 35. 35.
Yeah, and the 65% chose the 80-20.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And these were the production people, right?
No, 40%. Oh, let me read this over to you again.
Okay.
All the employees, 35 chose 70-30. All production chose 40% chose 70-30.
Yeah. And that means that 60%
of production workers chose the 80-20.
80-20.
Yeah, now it's saying, questions asking, what's the probability that a randomly selected employee will either be an administrative worker or will choose the 80-20? So it's an or question, so one or the other to happen.
Okay, hang on a minute. I'm still building the question a little bit. So, production, you have 40% who took the 70-30.
Yes.
And 60% took 80-20.
Yes.
And so what was the percentages for the administrators?
The only information given is that 25% of the population are administrators.
Okay. 5%. All right. So well, we do have complete numbers for the production people. Let's work on them then. Right?
Okay.
Now, this 35% chose 70-30. These are 35% of who? The total?
The total. So of all employees.
Okay. Okay. And 65% took 80/20. So one thing you do know, looking at the percentages, is that the administrative people took more, a higher percentage of them took 80/20, right?
I think so.
Remember you said 40% of the production people chose 70/30, 60% chose 80/20,
Yes.
right?
Right.
And you just told me down here, 35% ended up choosing 70/30 and 65% 80/20, and those were the production people, right?
Right.
So that's telling you that the administrative people are choosing higher rate, right?
Right. So
Because it's pulling it up.
right. I don't remember what. Let's see here. I'm looking for probability or.
So you look for the probability of what? Administrators, right?
No, what I'm looking for right now is what is the probability that a random person will be either administrative worker or will choose the 80/20. So
Okay.
what I'm trying to figure out is, do I take the probability of the admin and add that with the probability of being 80/20? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do I do that, or is there a different calculation that I should be doing?
Yeah, okay. So you don't have a total number of individuals in any of the groups. You just have percentages, right?
Right.
So, and you told me that there's 3 times more production people than administrators.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got to have some. You told me the production people had 40% choosing 70/30.
Yes.
But the last thing you said is that 65% of the people selected were in the 80/20 category, right? Of the administrators, or is it?
No, 65% of all chose the 80/20.
Okay, so now we have to figure out if you got 65% in the of everybody, but with the production people, only 60% chose 80/20, right?
Of the production, yes.
Yeah. So we know that there are 40%, let me say, 25% of the people in the employment are administrators.
Yes.
All right. write these different ideas then. So you've got 10, 80, 20, 70, 30.
Right. Right.
And then, so that was the horizontal one. And now vertical, you've got shell.
Okay, here's what I found.
Okay.
So here's what I have here. It says define probability of one event or another. The formula that they have here is probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of that A and B.
Okay. A and B.
Yeah, so it's like P of A plus P of B minus the P parentheses A and B. That's your probability of one or the other.
So what we have, well, the probability of being an administrator is 25, 1 in 4, right?
Right.
And probability of being a production person is 3 out of 4, or 75%.
Right.
And we know that the production people selected 70, 30%, 40% of the time.
Right.
And the 80, 20, 60%.
Right. I want to write this down right quick here. How they calculate.
Yeah,
Because I just found a video of two formulas here.
uh-huh.
Well, I want to write this down here because they're not.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait.
All right. Let me make sure this is correct because I'm seeing two formulas now.
Yeah.
All right, come on. All right. 1 second here. I'm watching what this guy is doing here.
Yeah, go ahead. Take time.
So there is a rule here as well. If the events are mutually exclusive, then the probability of A and B should be 0. So I'm not too sure if would be mutually exclusive.
No, because you can have both groups in all the possible, both the production people can be either in the 80, 20, or 70, 30. Like
right. So, right. So we'll still have to figure that out.
And you don't have there's no total N at all, right?
No, there's an O or. All right, I'm looking for its formula for and. Okay, so and is a little different here.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'll write this down right quick here.
Okay, go ahead.
So probability of B conditional that A happens. Okay, there's a times here as well. Okay, so probability of B happening given that A occurs times the probability of A.
And should those things add up to 100%?
I'm not sure.
It's got to be one or the other, so the two of them together is 100%, right?
Well, in this case, no. I think because 25 plus 65 is 90.
No. 35 plus 65
Is 100. But in this case, do we put well, let me try something out right quick here. I'm going to copy a formula right quick here.
Uh-huh.
We have a lot of steps in this here. Okay.
Do you have a piece of paper to decide you can say something?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So let's kind of take this into pieces, okay?
Okay.
So you're trying to figure out what percent would be selecting 80-20 and what percent 70-30. All right?
Okay.
So let's look at the production workers. If you had 100 production workers, you would have 40 of them choosing 70-30, right?
Right.
And 60 of them choosing 80-20, right?
Right.
So you create a grid, or the columns going down that is for the production workers, and then on the other side, the column for the administrators, right?
Right.
So you know that for the production workers, they're going to be choosing 40% of them are going to choose 70-30, and 60% choose 80-20, right?
Right.
All right, so write those two things in the columns, give yourself. Now, for the administrators, let's just say,
Or actually,
hold on.
I just realized something. I'm probably overthinking this.
Yeah,
Okay, so if something or something happens, is that the same as like A or B or both occurs?
I suspect.
Or is that the same as A or B but not both?
Well,
Because they don't mention both, so I guess not both.
So by separating the production people into their own column, you know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have 40% of it choosing 70-30, right?
Right.
And 60% 80-20.
Right.
Now, as you move over, have a column for the administrators. Well, I guess I need to change that. How am I going to change that? Let me think. The administrators are more like, they're smaller. They're 3 times smaller in
Right.
number. And so, but they're going, the administrators are.
Okay, because here's what I found. And I'm trying to think if I'm doing this correctly. Probability that something happens or something. There's no mentioning of both. So there's a formula, a different formula here. It says probability that A or B occurs, but not both. And they have written here P parentheses A delta B.
Okay.
So I think this is what they're saying. One moment here. Looking for where I'm writing my notes. Because I think I'm overthinking
Yeah,
this.
let me try to say something here.
Okay.
We know that the production people are going to end out 60-40, right?
Right.
And we also know that at the end, when we factor the two groups together, it's going to be 35% 70-30, and 65% 80-20, right?
Right.
So, what the addition of the administrators into the mix with the production people pulls the 70-30 choice down from 40% to 35%, right?
Right.
And so by adding the administrators, it's pulling it down 5%, right?
Right.
And also the 80-20 gets 5% larger, doesn't it?
Right.
Than if it's just the production workers.
Right.
And you've got 3 times more production workers than administrators.
Right.
But so when you put them all together, you go from well, you don't have a total number, do you?
No, I don't think so.
So each administrator, how many administrators have to choose the 80-20 one to pull it up?
Let's see here. Or actually, are you near a computer right now?
Not really. What do you want to do?
I want to show you what I found here, what I'm calculating. Because I found a formula that's if one event happens or the other, but not both, which is what I believe this is asking. And I want to show you, like, pretty much I figured out here.
I'll let you do the computation. It sounds like you're close to something. So let me think how to reason this with us. So what we're looking at really is the percent of people in the 70-30 versus 80-20. And if you're looking at the production people, you're going to have 40% of the production people saying 70-30.
Right.
But if you look at the administrative people, that 40% for the production people is 35% for the administrators.
Right.
So a lower percentage of the production people, am I doing it right? A lower percentage of the administrators select the 70-30 plan. They choose the 80-20 plan more. Right?
Right.
So what that means is to equalize, you've got three production people for every administrator. So to get it to move up and down a full percent, you've got to have three more production people to pull down one administrator.
Right.
So
okay. Can I call you back in just a second here? I'm having something on my phone going on here.
Yeah, okay.
I can call you back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, see you.
See ya. Bye. Okay, let's see here.